Hi, Kate from Kate's Paper Creations here today to share some things with you. It is currently time for the retired lists that have gone out for the annual catalog, because we're getting ready to introduce a new Stampin' Up! Catalog coming the first part of June. And as a demonstrator, when those catalogs, retiring lists come out, I take the opportunity to do some purging in my stamp room, because I pull all of the discontinued items off the shelf and I only keep current items, so that when I do workshops, all of my products are available for purchase with the customers. So that's what I've been doing this week. Last week I spent my time making cards. I made over 200 cards and sent them out to all the people in my church. And so I'm a little bit out of card making mode and needed a break to do something else. So this came at a good time to be able to purge my stamping room and get some organizing done and things like that. So let me share with you some of what I've done. Let's see if I can turn this around. So here we go. I took some of my stimulus money and I bought some 8.5 by 11 paper holders from Stampin Storage online. They have a really great product. They make really good stuff, and it's local, made in America, and it supports a small family business, so I'm happy to be able to do that. And I love them. I'm going to really enjoy it. The slots will hold up to 2 packages of paper, or cardstock, I should say, and that's good because I try to keep at least 1 plus of each color available all the time, because I never know when I'm going to get in the mode to make 50 or 100 cards. So that way I always have plenty on hand. And they come with these sleeves that are clear plastic sleeves that you can keep the scraps in, so that you can pull your scrap sleeve out and use the smaller pieces if you have a project that only needs a portion of a piece, which is something I really like. So excuse my videoing, but I will turn it around and show you. Here's the sleeve, and it has the title on it here that I added, and then the scraps just go inside. So then you could just put it on the shelf with the color, and the name is there, and there it goes. So very, very nice. I'm looking forward to that. Then over here I have their 12 by 12 holder, and I had bought the wheels because I thought I might need them, but I don't. But I didn't, so they're just there. But it holds all of the current designer series papers that I buy, and currently I only have 1 set of papers because all the others have been pulled. They never bring those back typically. And then up above, also from Stampin Storage, is the 6 by 6 storage unit. So I'm not sure that's where that's going to stay, but for now, that's where it's at. Now let me share, I am the other side of my stamping room. I have a bookshelf, and on that bookshelf I keep, as you can see, my stamp sets, my embossing folders, the die cut folders, and my punches. There's a white space there to the right. That is where I took out a shelf and painted it all white all around, so I'd have a neutral background for taking photos of my projects and cards. Below that, just a little bit, there's some more shelves with the boxes holding my cards that I've made that are labeled, and there's some extra stamp cases because I take all of my stamp dies and embossing folders and I put them in, whenever possible, into standard Stampin' Up! Stamp cases, because I like putting them on the shelf in cases instead of in the envelopes. So that's what I like to do. Then I don't know if you can tell real well, I'll move in a little closer, but on the spines of my stamp sets you can see that there's just the name of the stamp set and it's all white. That's because I make my own labels for my stamp sets. I leave the original in the case, but I make my own, and let me pull one out. This is what they look like on the front. I just take a picture from off the internet, and I created my own setup. And you can see at the bottom, below the picture of what's in the stamp set, I have the item number, the price. If it coordinates with a particular die or punch, it mentions that and gives those item numbers and prices as well, which works really well when I pass them around at a workshop, because if people are interested in buying it, they have the numbers right there to write on their order sheets. So it works out really, really slick. Another thing that I do, let me show you another stamp set, is when there is a dedicated die set with the stamp set, I put the dies right in the case. So this is the special day dies with the special someone or someone special stamp set. And so the stamp set's on the right hand side and the dies are in the left hand side. And I buy magnetic sheets from Amazon and I put them, and they're sticky backed. So I put them in there and it holds the dies in place. And then I have it all on the shelf in one spot. And that works out really, really nice, because then that saves me space and it keeps those dedicated stamp sets with the dies that go with them. And here's another thing that I do. I take all my embossing folders and I take them out of their envelopes. I use that sticky backed magnetic material, put it inside the case and attach so it holds the dies in place. And then I create a cover for those sets as well. I go online and get a picture of them, put it on the front, and again at the bottom it tells you how many dies are in the set and the item number so that it's easy to find. So that's what I do with my die sets. And then my embossing folders are down here, and you'll see that some of them are in the red boxes. Those are the dynamic folders, and they're 6 by 6, so they're much larger, and they won't fit in a standard stamp case. So I do have a silhouette cameo, and I have made cardboard cases for them. And again, the titles are just on the edges of the boxes. And then there's a picture on the front. So that's my bookcase. Then I also have the punch holder from Stampin Storage. And these are the current punches. The ones all on the left are all current. And some of the circle punches have been discontinued, but they're so versatile that I do keep those. But I've never needed more than one shelf unit for my punches because, again, I purge every year and I clean out discontinued, and Stampin' Up! Products are the only ones I buy. Lastly, let me share with you how I catalog what I own. I create a catalog of all the items I own so that I can reference them at any time. So I just have a binder, and let me open it up. I have sections for the stamp sets, and I just put in the stamp set and a picture of it so that if I'm looking for a particular sentiment or a particular shape or style of something that I need for a project I'm working on, I can just flip through the pages and find what I know I want. And then the name of the stamp set is there, and if it has what I want, I can just look at it as Healing Hugs. And on the shelf that I showed you earlier, my stamp sets are all in alphabetical order. So then if it's the piece I want is in Healing Hugs, I can pull it down and I can use it and put it back, and I can keep track of it. And that way my stamp sets all stay together. I also have a section for embossing folders. So if I'm looking for a particular background, I can see what I have to use. Then I have a section for thinlets and framelets. And this is divided into a section and a subsection. So I have many die sets that are not dedicated to any particular stamp set. So they have a case of their own, and they're in a separate part on my bookshelf there. And I put a picture on the front, and I put down at the bottom the number of dies, the item number, the cost, where it's found, so on and so forth. And that way when I'm passing them around, like I said, at a workshop or whatever, it helps people understand. Then I have a subsection in here where there are pictures of those die sets that are specific to a particular stamp set. And so then I have those. So I showed you the special days dies that coordinate with the special someone stamp set, and they're actually in the stamp case with the stamps. So then I know which ones of those I have. Then I also have a section for punches where I just have a picture of the punches that I have so that I can look at them. And that's my catalog, and I just keep it on the shelf next to me so that I can pull out what I need. I'll put the current catalog picture on the front. So I hope you've enjoyed my trip through the stamping room. Maybe you've picked up a tip or two, and I hope you have, and I hope you have a great day.